Hello everyone, I'm Zhafirin Ismail. Today I'm joined by my teammates Alina Lama, Wang, and Ruchi Shreshta, who will be presenting the paradox of workplace flexibility at the Nexus Enterprise. As a pioneer in workplace flexibility, Nexus has over a decade of industry leadership in hybrid and remote work. This initiative has empowered employees to design their own schedules, promoting work-life balance among employees. Nexus has thrived and attracted top talents into the company. However, post-pandemic, this legacy has left the once bustling office workspace to be mostly empty. Thus, we will dive into what may be the cause that lead to this paradox and find the solution to attract Nexus employees back into the office workspace. Flexible working arrangements lead to long-term consequences on organizational culture and employee engagement. This chart from OECD shows how remote work impacts productivity. Flexible working arrangement enhance organizational performance by improving employee satisfaction, which in turn improves efficiency, resulting from the factors such as improved work-life balance, reduced commuting time, and reduced stress. Flexible work arrangements also shows organizational trust in employees, thus enhancing employee motivation and engagement. Workplace flexibility also allows organizations like Nexus to have access to a wide range of talent pools and not limited to local talents, which is also an ideal solution for employees who cannot relocate or attend traditional 9 to 5 working hours. However, flexible working arrangement also foster silo working culture as a result of reduced face-to-face interactions among employees. Employees working remotely may feel disconnected from their members, and misunderstandings can easily happen. As a result, trust among employees are difficult to build and collaborations become harder, which subsequently may negatively impact overall productivity. Limited personal interaction can hinder exchange of knowledge among employees. Many learning opportunities occur during collaboration and informal conversation. Thus, reduced face-to-face engagement may hamper experiential learning from employees. Innovation relies mostly on sharing of knowledge through informal conversation, and reduced interactions potentially impact long-term productivity growth in remote work environments. It may also lead to managerial oversight, where remote workers risk having out of sight, out of mind mentality. Furthermore, because of reduced visibility, management unconsciously favor those who are more physically present in the office for promotions or opportunities. The physical absence from shared workspace weakens the sharing moment due to increased silo work culture. Thus, employees may experience a decline in psychological connection to the organization over time. So these two theories support the way to balance the autonomy with sense of belonging and shared purpose. According to the job characteristic model by Hackman and Oldham, there are 5 core jobs dimensions that will contribute to meaningful work and employee engagement. These are skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback. Autonomy alone is not sufficient. It must be paired with task importance and structure to foster motivation and performance. Organizations should also promote autonomy by enabling decision-making opportunities and implement strong feedback system to ensure employees receive timely constructive insights into their performance. Structuring job tasks to include broader range of skills will help employees to experience a clear sense of accomplishment and understand the impact of their work. Organizations should also create a shared value or rituals that represent the identity of organization. According to social identity theory, individuals may identify with a particular group, internalizing its characteristics and values as part of their self-concept. Reinforcing these cultural rituals in both virtual and in-person formats can help strengthen the sense of belonging and shared purpose among employees in the organization. There are several motivators for face-to-face interaction. This chart, which were adapted from Maslow's hierarchy of needs theory, shows that relatedness is one of the basic human needs. In-person interactions will satisfy the needs for belonging, reduce the feelings of isolation, and strengthen team bonds. Face-to-face presence can also lead to greater visibility with leadership of the organization, allowing for more recognition and opportunities for advancement. Face-to-face interaction also allows for more spontaneous real-time feedbacks that often allows for more effective brainstorming sessions and complex task completions. According to Hackman and Oldham job characteristic model, being physically in a shared workspace allows employees to have a sense of purpose and focus on the job. Furthermore, attending workplace physically can create a stronger sense of togetherness and shared mission. There are several barriers to face-to-face interaction. Employees may question the value of commuting as they may not see a clear purpose to be in the office, as all meetings and tasks can be done remotely. Due to habits to working remotely, it becomes a new default mode of work due to comfort and reduced stress from commuting. Thus, employees may perceive office attendance as a hassle due to its cost benefits. And lastly, flexible work arrangement has enabled work-life integration. Caregivers, people with disabilities, and those living far from the office may face greater burdens to attend work physically.
Hello everyone, my name is Alina and thank you for the opportunity to speak about the exploration on the tension between flexibility and corporate identity. Nexus faces the challenge of balancing flexibility with a strong corporate identity. While empty offices can weaken connection, mentorship, and innovation, forcing people back risks damaging trust and motivation. The key is to reframe the office as a space for meaningful collaboration, learning, and shared purpose. Grounded in motivational theories like Maslow, McLelland, self determination, and the job characteristic model, this approach meets employee deeper need for belonging, autonomy, and growth. So, returning to the office feels inspiring, not obligatory. Research and experiences show that leadership behavior are much more influential than policies alone. So let's look at a few practical ways leaders can shape positive workplace norms around in-person engagement. A strategic framework for in person participation avoids rigid mandates and builds trust by offering compelling reasons to come in. Grounded in psychological and organizational behavior theories, it focuses on creating meaningful experiences that spark intrinsic motivation. The goal is simple: employees return because they want to, not because they have to. A team strategic framework. A key part of the strategic framework is the concept of team owned anchor days. This approach relies on team driven scheduling, where each team selects 1 to 2 consistent in person collaboration days that best suit their workflow. By giving employees decision making power over these days, the organization fosters a sense of ownership and accountability. This strategy aligns with several motivational theories. Self determination theory, autonomy strengthens engagement and motivation, while goal setting theory suggests that clear expectation enhance accountability. Additionally, McLennan's need for affiliation highlights how predictable in person rhythm can deepen social bonds among colleagues. The cultural benefit of the model are significant as it promotes inclusion and trust, builds a shared sense of purpose and community, and shift the focus away from mandated attendance toward team owned rituals that employees feel invested in. Reimagining the office with activity based workspaces like creative lounges, quiet focus spots, and peer learning zones supports different work styles and fuels engagement. According to the job characteristic model, this variety increases motivation by making work more meaningful and offering feedback. Maslow hierarchy shows how connection and recognition in shared spaces meet social and STEM needs. Herzberg two-factor theory explains how these environments turn into the office into a true motivator offering growth and challenge. These designs create a natural pool where employees feel energized and proud to come in. Purpose driven on site events like innovation sprints and peer learning expos transform office time into meaningful experiences. McLennan theory shows that challenging goal focused activities satisfy the need for achievement. Goal setting theory explains how clear objectives drive higher performance. Maslow highlights that these events support self actualization through creativity and growth. Finally, Hesburgh two-factor theory shows how public recognition boosts motivation. This approach shift mindset from simply showing up to actively contributing, building a culture of purpose and impact. Micro incentives like recognition, learning opportunities, and access to leadership reward real contribution instead of just showing up. Expectancy theory explains that when employees see a clear link between their effort and valued outcomes, motivation rises. Equity theory ensures fairness, so remote and in office employees feel equally valued, avoiding resentment. This approach builds a culture that celebrates meaningful results over mere attendance, driving engagement and trust across the organization. Co-design participation council let employees help shape new ways of working, creating a sense of ownership and trust. Hesburgh's two-factor theory shows that having responsibility and a voice becomes a powerful motivator. Self-determination theory highlights how involvement strengthens relatedness and inclusion. By co-creating strategies instead of imposing them, Nexus taps into diverse insights, builds genuine engagement, and ensures the hybrid transition feels shared and lasting. Together, all the strategic framework help Nexus balance flexibility with connection. By giving employees purpose, choice, and a voice, you build a culture where showing up feels meaningful, not mandated. Thank you.
As Edgar Scheins' cultural embeddedness theory states, leadership is the primary catalyst for cultural change. Executives must lead by example rather than enforce orders. To create office energy, leaders should schedule collaborative meetings on workdays, such as Tuesday to Wednesday, to demonstrate their commitment to other employees. Regarding ritual creation, structured interaction can be introduced, such as weekly innovation labs, where executives can co-create solutions with their teams in a common space. Then, reinforce rewarding collaborative behaviors in performance evaluations, such as mentoring and cross-team projects rather than just output. We design office space to transform office into activity-based centers, replacing desks with project groups to encourage spontaneous collaboration. Crucially, leaders must avoid hypocrisy. Schedule virtual meetings will require employees to be present will undermine trust. By building flexibility into office interaction, such as giving people the freedom to choose when to turn on their cameras, executives can strike a balance between autonomy and cohesion. So, this is the picture about the office redesigns. Okay, let's move on to next part. Ethical and practical implication of shifting workplace expectation. Okay, changing expectations can undermine the psychological contract between Nexus and workers who joined for freedom and had a bigger impact on marginalized groups. Ethical risks include logistical and financial pressure on caregivers, such as unaccepted children care costs after returning to the office. Disabled employees may lose tailored accommodations, raising the issue of Americans with Disabilities Act a commonplace. Forcing employees to return to the office may amount to the institutional betrayal, eroding trust between employees and the company. The practical consequence of this is like high-performing employees who rely on flexibility lift, and remote employees who lack informal connection also fail to onboard because they have no way to come to the office. So, the migration strategy is like organization can create flexible office hours, like core office hours, for example, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 2 days a week, to promote teamwork with the acceptation of cares employees with disability. Develop a personalized agreement, a flexibility passport, co-designed by employees and managers to regularize the working arrangement. stress in infectious sport, subsidize on-site children care, and provide VR or AV technology to promote equitable hybrid participation. The key principle in all of this is this tailored solution can rebuild office cohesion while maintaining inclusivity. So this is a picture about the people like to avoid the toxic work environment. Thank you.
So, we are here today to discuss a critical question: should Nexus revise its employer value proposition to better reflect evolving work expectation? My answer is yes. The current situation with our office largely empty despite a legacy of flexibility clearly indicates our existing EVP, while once effective, is now misaligned with the realities of today's labor market and our organizational need. The misalignment creates a paradox of flexibility. While remote work offers benefits, a prolonged, fully remote environment presents distinct challenges. So, why revising EVP is crucial? Revising is crucial because shifting employee expectation beyond just flexibility, employees now crave social connection, community, mentorship, and spontaneous interaction, elements often missing in fully remote setups. Organizational health. Our diminished in office presence directly impact collaboration, innovation, and informal knowledge sharing. It hinders mentorship for new talent and erodes organizational cohesion and culture. Competitive landscape. As competitors adopt their hybrid models, we risk falling behind in attracting and retaining top talent. A revised EVP can help Nexus remain competitive by offering a holistic employee experience, authenticity, and trust. Our EVP is a promise. If the reality of empty offices and struggles with connection doesn't match the promise of vibrant workplace, it erodes employee trust. Managing transition to preserve trust and employee satisfaction. Revising our EVP requires a strategic, transparent, and empathetic approach. This isn't about retracting flexibility but employing to our more optimized, sustainable model that benefits both employees and Nexus. Here's we can how we can manage this to preserve trust and satisfaction. One, transparent and empathetic communication. Acknowledge and validate our strong legacy of flexibility. Clearly articulate the why. Focus on the benefits of employees, example, career development, stronger bonds, and the long term health of Nexus innovation culture. This fosters psychological safety. Frame this as the best of the both worlds, combining flexibility with meaningful in person engagement. Maintain open dialogue channels through town halls and surveys to address concern proactivity. Co-creation and phased implementation. Involve employees in solution from cross-functional committees to explore hybrid models. This builds buy-in. Shift to purposeful presence. Teams define why they needs to be in the office. Example, for specific projects, team buildings rather than just a mandate days. Implement changes gradually, allowing time for adaptation and feedback. Invest in office experience. Make the office a desirable destination. Redesign space for collaboration, social connection, and diverse work style. Enhance amenities and organize compelling in office events. Reinforcement the new EVP and building trust. Leadership must visibly role model desired behaviors, being present for collaboration and activities, train managers to effectively lead by hybrid teams, focusing on performance, engagement, and inclusion. Integrate the revised EVP across the entire employee life cycle from the recruitment and onboarding to deployment. Continuously measure and adapt the model based on ongoing feedback and data. Conclusion. So, by adopting this comprehensive and employee centric approach, Nexus can successfully revise its EVP. This will allow us to preserve our flexibility, reinvigorate our collaborative spirit, strengthen our organizational cohesion, and ultimately build stronger trust and higher employee satisfaction.